posteriorly and then come back around.
Supinator.
Supinator. So lateral side is supinator, medial side is pronator. So a lot of times you can just have them do resisted supination. Turn your palm up. Look at that. See that? He's getting some extensors there too. I can't completely get his wrist extension out of there. But if I find a Lecranon process and I come down, that's that ulnar crest on that back side of the ulna, and then it comes off of the lateral epicondyle, and then it wraps around to come all the way down here to the midpoint of the radius. And so it's going to do this. So go ahead and turn your hand up. Let's see if we can see it just without the... It doesn't pop out as much when I do that. If I resist it, let's see if I can do a better job at resisting. Ready? Go. There you go. So it comes this way. So he's getting a little bit of wrist extensor stuff in there. It's kind of on top of that. The supinator is the deeper part coming this way. Okay? Hold your hands up like that. Right, so I'm coming off this side. So Lecranon process coming up and then wrapping that way to come around. Turn your hand down. Turn your hand up. Do it against resistance. Ready, go. Right there. Okay. All the rest of this is some wrist extensor muscle mass. Okay. So supinator, posterior ulna, or lateral crest, I don't know, adjacent ulna, however they word it on there, and lateral epicondyle. To come down to the midpoint of the radius. Anterior surface, proximal radius, midpoint of the radius, somewhere in that vicinity. Supinator is radial nerve, and it is C6. Okay? Pronator, on the other hand, is going to be medial because it's going to pull this way. Quadratus is the one that's down here. This is the one that just kind of lays underneath all the deep flexor tendons as they run this way. So again, you don't have to worry about palpating it or anything comp-worthy wise. Just kind of know where it is because it also helps to pronate the distal radial ulnar joint with pronator teres, which is proximal radial ulnar joint. Okay, so that's quadratus. Medial epicondyle along with the rest of your wrist flexor tendons, so it kind of has that common insertion, but it goes at more of an angle. So the rest of your wrist flexor tendons are going to come this way. The pronator is going to come more this way. And it's also going to catch the coronary process of the ulna and then come down to the radius.
The lateral or the medial? At the midpoint?
Midpoint, yeah, maybe midpoint. I think I said midpoint for supinator. Supinator is probably a little bit more proximal to that, but supinator is also the posterior side of the radius. Pronator is going to be anterior side of the radius.
Okay.
And probably a little bit further down because the pronator runs more this way versus the supinator runs more this way.
Okay.
So it attaches a little bit further up on the posterior side versus the pronator attaches a little further distally on the anterior side.
Okay.
Is that helpful? So medial epicondyle, coronary process of the ulna to the anterior surface of the radius about halfway down. Turn your hand over. Right there. Now again, he's got all this is wrist flexor stuff coming this way, but you'll feel muscle differentiation coming more this way. That's pronator. And it kind of gets lost a little bit into its insertion because you have the other muscle masses over here. Marlon, come here for a second. Just out of curiosity.